Welcome back. The fourth thing that a disability carrier is going to do in your breast cancer claim is to look at your activity of daily living form and ask whether it's consistent with what your medical records say or what you told the adjuster during a call. Remember, disability carriers are in the business of collecting premium dollars and not paying benefits. They'll look at what you say you can do on your activity of daily living forms and compare that form with what's in your medical records. Unfortunately, I have found that not all disability claims adjusters are familiar with the stages of cancer, the symptoms, the treatment, and the side effects of treatment that can result in disability. That's why I think it's very important that your medical records document your symptoms, document your objective medical testing that supports your claim, and that your physician properly completes an APS form that's been supplemented with that Social Security Disability Residual Functional Capacity form. We want to provide the carrier with all of the necessary information that explains the extent of your disability and how you qualify for benefits. So let's talk about the analysis of your medical records. The carrier has a disability physician, either in-house or what I call out-house, that will review your medical records to determine your residual functional capacity. And in doing so, they're going to look at the following. So how long have you had your symptoms? What's the nature of your symptoms? How has your symptoms progressed or changed over time? What have you reported to your physician about how your breast cancer symptoms impact your daily activities and what you've reported on your activity of daily living forms? The nature of your treatment and the response to that treatment, side effects of medication, the extent and nature of your symptoms after surgery, radiation, or medication, what your physician has said about your physical examination and diagnostic findings, whether you've been able to be seen by specialists for treatment of your symptoms, such as a pain management doctor, a neurologist, a gastroenterologist, a psychiatrist, or even a psychologist, whether your physician's opinion about your restrictions and limitations are supported by objective medical evidence. And don't be surprised if they call back on a regular basis to check up on you and ask your doctor to fill out these attending physician statement forms on a regular basis. They might even put surveillance on you. And if you're getting calls too frequently or you suspect surveillance, you should call a disability attorney such as myself, because you're being set up for a claims denial. Now, the fifth thing they do is they're looking for policy limitations. Why would they look for policy limitations? Because they don't want to pay your benefits for a second longer than they have to. So does the policy limit how long the carrier has to pay your benefits? I know this may sound strange, and actually I think it's a disgrace, but there are some policies that will limit how long a disability carrier has to pay for a breast cancer claim. Now, they may also try to wiggle you into a psychiatric or subjective condition limitation clause in the policy that will legally limit the carrier's obligation to pay. The carrier is going to be looking for a clause in that policy and try to pigeonhole you into that clause. As a result, the disability medical team might conclude that the reason you're disabled is because you're depressed and not because of the side effects of medication. Why? Many policies say that if your disability is caused or contributed to by a psychiatric problem, like depression or anxiety, no benefits are due after 2 years of benefits. You should be calling an experienced disability attorney if you're having any mental health issues, and to talk to an ERISA attorney about developing a strategy for dealing with these policy limitations. That's something I do with my clients every day of the week. Now, there are other policies that will have what's called a subjective condition limitation. And that clause will say pain, fatigue, memory problems are subjective conditions. And as a result, we only have to pay you for 2 years. I think it's really important that you understand the policy terms and limitations and how those terms can impact your benefits. So the carrier is going to get a copy of your medical records and have those records and the APS form reviewed by its medical team. I want you to know that many times breast cancer cases are initially accepted by the carrier, but then they're denied once treatment has been completed or the breast cancer is in remission. And I call this the denial of benefits after completion of treatment or remission game. Carriers will assume for their own benefit that since your cancer is in remission, that you can immediately return to work, or they'll simply refuse to acknowledge the disabling side effects of medication. And that can include, as I've said, lymphedema, pain, tingling, and numbness of the upper and lower extremities, fatigue, and chemo fog. If your claim has been denied after the completion of treatment or a claim that you're in remission, you need to call an experienced disability attorney such as myself because you need help immediately. So let's summarize. The 5 things that carriers are going to be doing in every breast cancer claim are to 1, ask, is there objective medical evidence that's the basis of the breast cancer diagnosis? Is there objective evidence that is the basis for the restrictions and limitations assigned by your physician? Is there a causal relationship between between your breast cancer and its medical complications and the assigned restrictions and limitations and your inability to do your own or any occupation? Is what you say on your activity of daily living form consistent with what's in your medical records or what you've told the adjuster during a call? And does the policy limit how long the carrier has to pay benefits? We're going to take a quick break, but remember, claims are won or lost with the attending physician and residual functional capacity forms. Does the APS form ask the right questions? We're going to talk about MIS and APS forms. Stay tuned.